Hi, welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you today. And today's pick a card topic actually came as a suggestion in the comment section. So please feel free to drop your comments below with your suggestions on topics that you would like to see covered here on the Tarot Cottage, because I live to serve. So today's topic is all about a no contact situation. Why are they silent? And are they going to reach out to you? So why is this person on your mind not talking to you? Why did they ghost, or why did they drop off of contact? And are they going to reach out to you? Are they planning on it? What can you expect in the future of this connection? Now, of course, I would like to welcome back all of my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for all of your kind comments as well beneath my videos. Be sure to continue commenting, hitting your notification bell, because I'm drawing 2 winners this month for the chance towards a free tarot reading with me. Just drop your comment below and make sure you hit your notification bell and are subscribed to the channel so that we can get the ball rolling. But for today's pick a card topic, no contact, why are they silent? Are they going to reach out to you? We have 3 piles to choose from today from the Sante Morte Book of the Dead Tarot. Pile 1 with the Knight of Swords, pile 2 with the 8 of Wands, and pile 3 with the World. So whichever pile or piles are calling your name, or you're feeling the energetic pull, there could be messages waiting from your team, your spirit team, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. No contact, why are they silent, and are they going to reach out to you? Pile number 1. Pile number 1, you were drawn to the Knight of Swords. And this is your reading. Why have they gone silent? Are they going to reach out to you? So the Knight of Swords, you can see the sword is being shoved down his throat. So maybe this person is stopping themselves for saying what they want to say. You can see that the horse, it's a skull, so it doesn't have any ears. So there's a reference to not listening. Maybe not listening to prompts, not listening to intuition, listening to our heart a little bit as well. So let's take a look here. This could also be somebody who has a tendency to a little bit stick their foot in their mouth at times when it comes to love. But let's take a look and see. I'm going to use the Herb Crafter's Tarot to begin this reading, pile 1. So we're starting with the Tower. And it was teetering on a reversal. We're going to leave it sideways like that, but it is teetering on a bit of a reversal. So we're going to remember that it fell in that configuration. We have the Page of Cups. We have the 10 of Pentacles coming out with the Sun. We have Page of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Back of the deck, we do have the 8 of Cups. And we have the King of Swords. Now, the good thing here is that it does feel like this person does have intentions to reach back out. It's like they don't feel like this is going to be a permanent thing where there's no contact between the 2 of you. I will say that they are a little bit concerned about other people's opinions floating in, and they're asking us to be flexible with our expectations when it comes to timing. Because although this person feels like it's going to come in, there is something that they are in the process of dealing with. They could be dealing with a lot within their career, but the truth is that why they have gone silent is that they're trying to avert something. They're trying to stop major change from coming in. They could be protecting something right now. Now, I will say this because I'm reading for the collective and I have a lot of different energies coming in. Part of this disaster that they're trying to avert could be not wanting change to come in a commitment cycle, or not being ready for commitment cycles in a connection with you. So they could be delaying communication with you in this moment, but I feel like they are getting prompts. I feel like they have been getting inspirations to reach out to you that have just kind of popped up suddenly. And I feel like that's how the communication could ultimately show up for you in the future. But we're also going to see if they are going to reach out, if they have plans on it, if they are going to execute those plans. But I think that they've thought about it. And the truth is that this tower, it's not a tower at all. It's an old stump, and it's covered in mushrooms. And the mushrooms are a symbol of slow growth. And so there could be like a slow growth or a slow approach to an epiphany or an inspiration. I feel like when this person like first walked away from you or first entered into a no contact situation with you, they told themselves they were walking away. But they've been getting karma or like a valid criticism or valid feedback from their expectations, because it hasn't exactly turned out the way that they thought that it would turn out. Maybe they thought the grass was greener on the other side, but in this case, this says St. John's wort the sun, but I always think of hot sauce lining the back of this sun energy. And there's something, well, hot sauce burns. 9 of Pentacles. I think they regret walking away. And I think that that reality hit them pretty harshly once they stopped with the contact with you. And for someone watching, they could have kind of stopped contacting you or stopped communicating with you because they may have been exploring something else. But again, I don't think the grass was greener on the other side. I think the green grass was artificial. And that's why they're kind of faced with this reality now that stings a little bit or that burns. I feel like they hesitate to come forward right now because they don't feel safe. Because they feel like responsible for the disconnect in the first place. And this feels like one of those classic situations where they were communicating with you or they were spending time with you and they thought that there was another opportunity, but that opportunity did not compare. It paled in comparison here. Here's the King of Wands. And they just gave me this reference to sort of a temporary stake in the ground, like staking my claim in something and being flexible with an opportunity towards more. So even when it comes to the application of communication with you, they want to come forward, but they want to be as protected as possible. And that's why they're perhaps delaying a little bit here, because they're trying to perhaps re-enter when they feel as secure or as accepted as possible. They could be watching you. They're giving me this internet energy. They could be watching you online at this point as well. But I feel like they went silent because they went exploring. And I feel like they thought that they had time or that they could, like they had time here, but they went exploring and the grass was not greener on the other side. And now that they've realized, they've had this epiphany, they've recognized the role that they played here. And I think, again, they have deep regret. And these regrets keep popping up as the constructive feedback that they need right now. And it is ultimately this deep regret and trying to preserve what they actually want overall that I feel like could be the motivating factor in reaching out to you in the future. Here's the Queen of Wands. And I feel like you, again, you've been waiting. The reference to the slow stump or the slow growth of the mushrooms on the stump. Maybe you've been waiting for this person and you're getting frustrated with the wait. And deep down, your guides say that you have this inclination about why they did retreat, especially if it had to do with other people, if you're resonating with that message. And if not, Spirit does encourage you to take the messages that resonate and leave behind those that do not, of course. But they're saying that for someone watching, you could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Of course, you don't have to be, but they're referencing how you're holding on to a wisdom code here when it comes to this person, and how you might have an inclination, or you might have a intuitive message that comes through about why they actually did stop contacting you, or why they retreated in contact, or why they went silent. And this could trigger you a lot. So it may not come as a surprise to you that they perhaps went exploring a little bit. It may not also come as a surprise to you that they're regretting it. They're regretting that exploration at this moment too. And they haven't forgotten, because that's also a message that's coming through, is that wondering if I've been forgotten, wondering if this person has forgotten all about me. You have not been forgotten. They're holding space. How do they truly feel, please? Why are they silent? We have here, forget who you are. Conditioning falls away and memory no longer defines you. And they're referencing this little fawn, and they're showing the fawn kind of tucked into the grass as the mother goes off and grazes for the day. It's like the hiding. It's like I don't want to be found out. Hiding because I don't want to be caught. And perhaps feeling a little bit intimidated by the divine feminine. All must have its prizes, trying to please everyone. And then the back of the deck says you can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. And part of one of the reasons why they haven't reached out and broken the no contact up to this point is because perhaps they are afraid that they've created irreparable damage. They could be afraid that you've moved on, or that you've claimed your independence and that you've forgotten about them here. But here there's a reference to salt in the wounds, of like the dodo bird being a reference to endings that bring new beginnings. And it says trying to please everyone. So you may be holding on to this connection because you want to maintain force or maintain a connection with this person. But it could be minimizing the desires in your heart. It could be minimizing your goals or what you need to thrive in a loving relationship if you continue to prioritize this hold, if they continue to make you wait. But let's take a look here. We're going to be taking a look in a moment at whether or not they're going to make contact with you. Are they going to reach out? But first, let's take a look at their current feelings, please. What are they thinking and feeling? Why did they go silent? What are they currently thinking in regards to this connection? It says here, call me when you're single. And again, there was a reference to kind of being impulsive towards curiosities with other people. It says here, I wish that I could get you out of my head, and I wish that I'd never let go. And I do really feel that they feel that reality check. There's a lot of regret, even in the recent past, a lot of regret of walking away and going silent. And sometimes when we go silent and we have a lot of regret, we just don't know how to recapture the moment. We don't know how to come back while maintaining our face, while maintaining our safety. We have here, I thought that you rejected me. So part of them feels like they just rejected before they got rejected. But I think that's a bit of a scapegoat. It says here, drape me in your sunshine. And it says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I walked away. It's like they're worried about being forgotten, but it says here, have you forgotten about what we shared? They could even be dreaming about you. So let's ask Spirit about whether or not they are going to make contact. Please, with pile number 1. Are they going to make contact? Will they reach out? They seem to have a plan, but they don't know when to execute. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords, and we have the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. The 8 of Pentacles. They have a willingness. I feel a willingness coming in. King of Cups. I also feel like this is like a very emotional person. Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Here's the Tower coming sideways again. Here's the 7 of Swords. Now, I think that this person, they almost might need a healthy dose of denial in order to come forward. It's like they might need a healthy dose of confidence to come forward. Even though they may not feel very confident, I do feel like they are already feeling inspired to reach out to you. I think that they are going to reach out to you. In fact, Spirit says they could reach out within the next couple of months for someone watching, the next couple of weeks, but I feel like it's going to be extending into the next 6 weeks or so that you might hear from this person. For other people who are waiting for contact, the extended amount of time for this prediction would be within the next year. But Spirit does feel them inspired in this present moment. So this could speed up the process. But Spirit says it's not over. Even though they're afraid that it is, you may also be afraid that it is. The Tower coming up, sideways in both of your spreads here. Now they are saying that there's a willingness, but they also just said the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So even though there's a willingness, they have to water the garden. They have to kind of take the action, but they are predicting that there is going to be further contact here. It's almost like they're gearing themselves up to do it. Please propel 1, please. We have, do not be nervous today or tonight. The path you're on will lead you just right. It says here, one door closes, but another opens for you, and let the plans of destiny unravel true. So this could be an indication of new energies coming into your life, as well as this person, but it's also not over in this connection, Pile 1. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, things are moving. Here's the 8 of Cups, though, falling out of the bowl. Now, somebody who perhaps walked away to empower themselves, or thought that they walked away to empower themselves in whatever focus they were focusing on. For some, it could have been towards, another interest or another person. But they didn't find what they were looking for anyway. Because the truth is that when we're trying to find solutions outside of ourselves, we're always going to come up wanting. So there is more to come here. There's things turning in your favor, but what do you want to do with that opportunity? That's the question that Spirit poses to you. Because you may feel emotionally kind of checked out. When this person reaches out to you, you may start to feel your empowerment crawling back. So Spirit is giving you the answer of what to expect, so they want to know what you're going to do with it. We do have here the nursing cap. I do think about nursing our mind, nursing our thoughts. We have slow moving energy with the hand saw and empowerment. So somebody who's taking their time in order to empower themselves, to sort of be ready. R, S, and M. And beautiful music, making plans. They're also talking about a flirtation cycle. You may have been flirting with this person quite heavily online, and then it sort of ended abruptly. We also have the Horse, the freedom of choice, and somebody who rushed to action. Somebody who didn't think very much about the consequences before they impulsively perhaps walked away from you, but they are speaking about honoring someone's free will, which we get frustrated with sometimes. All right, pile 1, that's what we have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell so we can get the ball rolling. I also offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below as well. But I hope that you have a beautiful day and you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the 8 of Wands, and this is your reading. Why did they go silent? Are they going to reach out to you? Now, this 8 of Wands is talking about momentum, a pressure system. You can see that it's almost like something being propelled towards you. So this could be a good sign of transition that could happen in this connection. There's also a reference here to feeling under pressure. So let's take a look here and see, why did they go silent for pile number 2, please? But empowerment being on your mind or being on their mind. This could also speak to sort of a momentum coming towards you. So let's hope that that's the case. But why did they go silent in the first place for pile number 2, please? We have the High Priestess and the 7 of Wands coming out first. We have the Strength, and it's coming here with the Queen of Cups. We have the Fool, we have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Moon. Back of the deck is the Page of Swords, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of stubborn energy coming through here with this Knight of Pentacles. There's the Mule, and there's the Magician. Now, I feel as though this person is actually, in fact, this message came in pile 1. There could be a message waiting for you there, but I do think this person is watching you right now. There's also an aspect of maybe education or school. It could be maybe this person's in school, perhaps. And there is a reference to feeling pressure. Here's the Knight of Swords. And like pile 1, there's a reference to sort of being impulsive about my choice here, of what drove me to silence. Because I feel like this person is acknowledging that you wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit, or you make your desires very known in relationship cycles, and when you're communicating with someone, like there's just something motivated by you, or that you get motivated by when it comes to the heart and taking this deep dive, even when things feel a little bit uncertain. It's like you're willing to put yourself out there. And we're all relational to each other. And sometimes when another person's willing to be open and honest and vulnerable, even if we're not asking them to be in return, they can feel that pressure to match that energy. And the truth is that the energy that you're asking them to match is so abundant. It offers so much strength and so much emotional support. We just have to enter into that space with you at this point. It offers them so much. And it brought them to a crossroads where it's like they weren't sure. They weren't sure if they were ready. They weren't sure if they could commit the way that you needed them to. And so instead of dealing with the way you made them feel vulnerable, the way that your heart and how you were feeling was making them feel pressured, they ran away from that. They ran away from the security that this connection with you could offer. And they're highlighting thin ice with this wolf, and they're highlighting the lone wolf, and having the opportunity to step into togetherness and to step into belonging and no longer having to be alone. And this white rabbit, the white rabbit being a symbol of curiosity and playfulness, but also fear, a bit of a fight or flight creature, and a reference to reflection and feeling like they're a little bit late. It's like something that they were asked to step into and take a leap into, and yet they weren't ready. Here's the Ace of Swords. I feel as though this person has had kind of you in this connection have had an unlikely ally, though. I don't know if it's a family member or a friend, or someone is encouraging this person to get their head out of their butt and to act towards you. Someone is trying to be an unlikely ally towards this person and encourage them to see the truth and see the opportunity. Because they weren't honest with themselves at the point of disconnect. Like they weren't being honest with themselves as to why they stepped forward or stepped away from the opportunity. And they weren't being honest with you about their readiness. And maybe it was easier for them to walk away than it was for them to be honest about their inabilities, about their vulnerability, about their fear. And there's a really strong aspect of remembrance and just, not being able to forget the role that they played. And it honestly, it boils down, Spirit says, to this person who doesn't feel like they have the resources that they need to thrive, or the resources that they need to offer you something. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. And part of the process of this person's sort of awakening in the situation and their evolution is to acknowledge where they went wrong and act upon that acknowledgement. It's like here's the High Priestess with the Seven of Wands. This person knows, they know that they are resisting a good thing, but I don't think they've come to complete conclusions yet about how to rectify the situation. So this could affect the momentum. Again, they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling the pressure to reach out, or they're feeling the pressure for communication. But it's like they're trying to resist it. They're still trying to hold on to this version of defense, this I'm right. It's like a justification for their actions. And I just heard see you later, alligator, after wild crocodile. And they're referencing here. And they're referencing compassion now as well. So they're referencing the compassion coming soon. After a while. And with the coyote looking through the garbage can, there's another card in my collection that says, accept your follies and find the teaching in them, connected to the coyote. And this is what they're moving into. They're moving into acceptance. I feel like they're in a little bit of denial. They're trying to be in denial, or they're trying to hold on to denial. But there's something in their life, whether it's their higher self or a friend or a family member, honestly giving it to them, telling them that they are in denial, telling them that where they went wrong, telling them that they should act. And this is an unlikely ally because its purpose, its function is to kind of put the truth right in their face, but also to help them to get out of the prison that they've created for themselves, so that perhaps they can find the solutions, find out what they need to release in order to move through something powerful in this connection. Here's the Eight of Pentacles, and there's the Page of Swords. Again, they're watching you. They're overthinking about the situation. I feel like they're even watching you, especially at night. And I do feel like, again, they're in a state of denial. Some of the epiphany might not hit them until they perhaps see you. They're afraid to see you with somebody else. In fact, for someone watching, they've watched you online and they're worried that you have moved on because of some pictures that you've shown. You may not have moved on, but they're worried about you moving into another relationship. And for some watching, I can't deny that this person has a habit of self-sabotage where they might not receive that lesson until they get that kick in the gut where they see you with another person online. Because they are in denial right now, and this is keeping them stuck from taking the leap of faith and listening to the motivation that tells them to turn their back towards the inspiration, turn their back towards the opportunity, lean into it, and take a deep dive into something that they feel like is, to them, would feel dangerous because they don't feel ready for it. I feel like if they do reach out to you, they're going to use excuses as to why they haven't reached out or why they went silent. And they're going to use work as an excuse for someone watching. We have here, make the effort. Great love is worth the steps you're guided to take, but we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And that's something that I feel like they don't have a lot of, is self-love, because they keep referencing, I don't have enough resources. I'm not enough. And at the end of the day, when they're honest with themselves, that's one of the main reasons why they retreated, why they slipped away with no contact, why they went silent, is because they just don't feel, and they don't feel valuable enough. They don't feel enough. But they're now getting this urge, this pull, this pressure system that says, if you want to improve situations, you have to make the effort, but he has to love himself first. We have playfulness, to recapture romance. Allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And we do have engagement. Your love life is ascending to higher levels of commitment. This could be a good sign for you, Pao-Tu, that they will, in fact, be able to pull through, release what needs to be released, and create some sort of abundance. But the Wheel of Fortune as a support says that I won't get to where I want to be unless I push against that wheel. What are they currently thinking and feeling, please? Why did they go silent? Spirit says it does trickle down to this lack of compassion that they have for themselves. It creates a hurdle where it stops them from being able to listen and trust in their higher self perspective. We have let me hold you. And there's a sense of denial. Again, Seven of Swords coming through. It says here, I want you and I want to get you drunk. We also have be more selfish. So they're just referencing, you know, lowering our inhibitions. It's easy to be physical with you, perhaps. It's easier, and perhaps that's how they're going to come forward, if they do choose to come forward, is they might need a little bit of liquid courage. They will be very impulsive, perhaps. That could be the only way that allows them to take the risk, is by being very impulsive. They also are recognizing that sort of slipping away that they did was a selfish act and they weren't thinking about the consequences. But I don't feel like they're 100% ready yet to accept their role. It says here, I worry about us a lot. And the Ace of Cups coming in sideways. I feel like that needs to stay like that, even though I don't usually read these in the reversal or the upright. I almost feel a certain slight depression, actually, for someone watching. For this person that you're asking about. But they're also speaking here about, again, reaffirmations to our own heart space, not having the capacity to give from an overflowing cup. I think we should see other people not ready for commitment, but that really came down to being terrified about commitment cycles and being stuck in a rumination cycle. Then we have think before you act. And that, I feel like, is what they're going to learn. I don't think that they thought before they acted when it came to reducing contact or going silent. back of the deck says, I am open to compromise. It's like I am holding space for more. I just don't know when it's possible, if it's possible. So let's ask Spirit about that. Are they going to reach out to pile number 2, please? This person that has gone silent, are they going to reach out? There's the 9 of Swords. They're worried about it. They're thinking about it, though. There's the 2 of Pentacles we just saw. Here is the Wheel of Fortune. Can we clarify that Wheel of Fortune, please? They really, I feel like they have a lot of intentions to reach out to you, but they just keep putting it off. It's like, I don't know if they're waiting for the perfect moment to launch or confidence to launch, but they keep putting it off because if they don't know what's waiting for them. But the longer they procrastinate, the worse it's going to get for them. Queen of Swords. Okay, so it's not exactly fair, but for some reason they feel like you might communicate with them before they reach out to you. And Spirit says that that could actually happen. You might decide to communicate with them your experience, your loss. You might even be doing it as a sense of closure of like, this is how I'm feeling. This is how you made me feel. And, but I still see communication coming in. I just don't know that this person will be the one who executes it. It could be the Divine Feminine, a lot of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini coming through that could execute the change here in the situation. But we are being brought to a crossroads. Here's the Page of Cups. And there will be a conversation that the two of you will have. Now the question is, will it be a conversation that ignites more? Will it be a conversation that closes out the cycle with the Six of Wands? Here's the Page of Swords. And they're talking here about gathering information from each other during this conversation cycle. So the two of you will at least have another conversation. I do feel like it could be executed or implemented by the Divine Feminine because of the frustration and the delay. And they are emphasizing this person, although they're feeling the pressure to come forward. Maybe you're feeling the pressure to move forward in some way. I feel like they're going to delay. And that delay could get on your nerves. And when it gets on your nerves, you could feel motivated to push your wheel forward with your truth all on your own, just to communicate again how you're feeling and what you're experiencing. But this creates a crossroads. It creates an opportunity. And Spirit says that you get to decide what you want to do with that opportunity. So it's not over yet, pile 2. We have inner power. By your own command, you have brought yourself here, and at this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. And there's a certain amount of empowerment that even this person can adopt to when they accept their role that they played and find the solutions and find the teaching in it. In the same way, you may decide to, again, take back control over communication, take on that leadership role. And thanks in spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found. And Saint Anthony was the patron saint of what we would call lost things, or sometimes he's called the patron saint of impossible causes. So Spirit says that it's not over. What you think has been lost, or even what they think has been lost, there may be more potential here than meets the eye, even from their own perspective. You may even change your motivations in reaching out once you gather information from this person, but it's not over. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. 2 of Cups, the Death, and the Magician. There does seem to be a bit of a tug of war for control, but there is also a communication cycle that you can expect coming in, maybe even within the next couple of months for someone watching. Within the next 2 or 3 months, you may find that that you are communicating with this person, but again, they may hesitate to bring forward that communication. They are sort of sitting in a waiting room, waiting for confidence, waiting for something. So Spirit says you may get tired of sitting in that waiting room. And they keep showing me that Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You Go, and the part of that book that says somehow you'll escape all this waiting and you'll find the place where big boom bands are playing. So there's a sense of like waiting too long. We have crystal clear intentions, so you might be bringing forward crystal clear intentions, or your guides are asking you for crystal clear intentions before you take action towards this person for clarity. We do have a sense of delay and wait with the blue lips. We have the transformation of the butterfly, and we also have a rocking horse, a symbol of the Chariot, sort of a childlike chariot, maybe being motivated by childhood or being motivated by children. So take that as it resonates. We also have here the honey cells. 4 are filled, 3 are not. So there is more to come here in this opportunity. But you get to decide if it's going to be a part of your upgrade or not. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the World, and this is your reading. Why has your person gone silent? Are they going to reach out to you? Now, the World, you can see the Divine Feminine is holding on to the timepiece. She's holding on to the scythe as well. And it's like she doesn't want to commit to ending the opportunity, but she's been waiting a while. And maybe she's been waiting for commitment cycles as well, because she's dressed up as a bride too. So let's take a look here and see. For pile number 3, please, why have they gone silent? 2 of Cups and the Star. The High Priestess. The Ace of Wands. Death. The 8 of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, let's clarify as we go forward here, please. Why did they go silent? Six of Swords. I also saw the Temperance. Four of Wands and the High Priest, or I'm sorry, the Hermit. The Nine of Wands. It does feel like this could have began with a communication cycle on the internet, or you guys could have been communicating with each other, maybe spending a little bit of time together. But I feel like a lot of talking, a lot of communication happened in the past of this connection. Here's the Strength. Eight of Swords with the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. And the Hanged Man. Here's the Three of Wands and the Emperor. You know, it really feels like this person gave in to their own fears here. It's like they gave in to their own fears, because there's this feeling about a lifeline or an opportunity here towards relationships, maybe towards transitions, towards more. They got like triggered by like a deep-seated fear. They got triggered by the path or the plan. It's like maybe your expectations, maybe your desires, they got spooked by it a little bit. But Spirit says that the reason they resisted was because of fear. It tested their strength because it represented birth and regrowth and just change, and they didn't feel prepared or ready for that. Being inspired by it is one thing. The expectation of it coming in was another. So it's like this person felt an expectation perhaps coming from you. And I don't even feel like you placed the expectation. I just feel like maybe you're very direct in your communication style. Maybe you're just like, this is what I want out of life. This is where I want to go. This is where I'm headed. This is what I'm working towards. And this person retreated because of things that they know to be true about their own past. Let me just ask about that. Can we ask about the High Priestess, please, with the Hermit? Why did they go silent? Because I'm reading for the collective, I'm going to have a lot of different energies floating in. Here's the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Back of the deck is the High Priestess reversed now with the Five of Swords. And when the High Priestess is reversed, we're not listening to the notes of our intuition. Because their intuition was telling them, this is a really good opportunity. This is an inspiration for change. This is something you should explore. This is something you should pursue. And they got spooked because they stopped listening to their intuition. And instead, that change represented something scary. It represented a pressure system that they weren't ready to experience. And it's because of the things that they've experienced in the past, or again, their childhood could have played a role. There's a lot of experiences that could have added up to make them have that fear response. When the truth is the opportunity with you, you can see this person's walking downhill. It's all downhill from here. And yet they didn't listen to the notes of intuition. And with this 9 and the Ace, this is the 10 of Wands. This is the fear of the unknown. They were afraid of the opportunity that this connection with you represented. Now, for someone watching, we can't deny that there could be a real practical stuck energy here. It's like the death of one region or one area of life could bring in abundance in another area of life. But the crux of the message is that they surrendered to a prison of their own making, a prison of their own heart. And it's like they were almost feeling like they would have to prove themselves. And that's something that they felt a lot of pressure. They weren't ready for, even though you represent something really special, and I feel like they're acknowledging that too, that you represented something unique and special and an opportunity. It's like they weren't ready to prove themselves. At least not yet. They weren't ready for commitment cycles, at least not yet. And maybe, again, there's an aspect of them feeling pressured, or them feeling an expectation that I don't even feel like you intentionally put out there. Because it represented a fear that they need to release, because there's the Star again. A lot of Aquarius energy here for the Divine Feminine. Virgo as well. Leo energy. But there's this reference to sort of perhaps something that they need to release in order to move forward in the world, in order to ascend spiritually. But it's like they couldn't give themselves the permission to do that. I feel like they're inspired right now. I feel like they know that you're waiting for some type of response. And they're afraid. They're afraid to give in to the inspiration to reach out to you now. Because even now, they feel like there could still be potential if they reach out, but they're still facing the same demon. And I can't deny that this person might feel like they need a little help in the communications department. And we're going to see about that when we see if they're going to actually reach out to you, Pile 3, is that they need a little boost or a little help. We have here heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, feeling lost, grieving and mourning. So if we think that they're sort of going off into the sunset, having a good time, Spirit says that's not the case. Outdated thinking and replaying events over and over in my mind. And you could be kind of creating a bit of a frenzy of thought where you can't stop thinking about the conversations. I feel like this person is joining you. We have mask, not showing their true feelings, pretending, deluding, gaslighting. Even in this moment, I feel like they're almost trying to gaslight themselves into convincing themselves they don't feel what they've been feeling. But they've been feeling a lot of inspiration popping up out of the blue about this connection with you. Back of the deck, we also have He's on a Ring, stringing along, one night stand, decision, many options. So they could have gone exploring for new options, but that's not even the focus of the reading. Even if they did explore other options when they did retreat, and that was one of the reasons they went silent, was exploring other options, I don't think that was the domino effect. I don't think that was the trigger. I think the trigger was the fear of the unknown, of what this could represent with you. And what it could represent with you is transition into relationships and into peace and into clarity. What are they thinking and feeling? Why did they go silent for pile number 3, please? Why did they go silent for pile number 3? This is all I have to give, and the truth came after. And when they started the communication cycle with you, perhaps they didn't think it was going to go anywhere. They had no intentions of having it be an influence on their life. But the truth came after. It's like after they explored it for a time, or after they felt like they weren't ready for commitment cycles or ready for a relationship, the truth of what has been lost is going to hit them after the fact, or is hitting them now. I do want to get back what we had, but I walked away to find myself. And there's a reference to like friendship and innocence, and maybe wanting to break into something more, but not with the commitment cycles in mind. Because you represented here an emerging idea, passion, creativity, and initiation, but they're afraid of where this path leads. They're afraid of where this opportunity with you would head. And the opportunity was going to head them in some place really abundant, but they're not ready for the commitment cycles. And I feel like they're worried about holding you back from them. It says here, I was the happiest I've ever been. And do you even want me back? But it says here, I'm waiting for the right time, and it's coming in the reversal. And this is like the 7 of Pentacles of procrastination. So it's like I'm procrastinating. I want to come forward, but I'm procrastinating because I keep putting myself in this 8 of Swords. But if I keep procrastinating, I might get locked in there forever. It says here, I am tired of holding back, and I did listen to every word that you said, but look what's coming out in the back of the deck. You deserve someone better than me. It's like self-deprecation. Now let's take a look here at whether or not this person is going to reach out to pile number 3, please. Are they going to make contact with pile number 3, please? The 9 of Pentacles. I just saw the 8 of Swords again. Queen of Pentacles. They're letting every distraction slow them down. Here's the 10 of Wands, including people, jobs. Here's the 9 of Wands. They do have the inspiration, but Spirit says that they are holding back. Emperor. Here's the Page of Cups. There's the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. Now, Spirit does see them taking a passive approach. Back of deck, the Page of Cups does indicate that you could get a communication that pops up suddenly out of the blue. Just suddenly out of the blue. And it could be a kind of a moment where they get filled with regret. It could actually be motivated by intoxication, if I'm honest. It could be like a drunk text, or it could be someone that has lowered their inhibitions in some way, and they're coming forward with regret about this 8 of Swords and about how they operated in this situation. Spirit says they are going to take a passive approach, perhaps for the next six months or so. If you feel motivated to reach out to them beforehand, Spirit says they could use a little kick in the right direction to create clarity between the two of you. Now, you might use this opportunity to close out the cycle and gain closure, or you just might use it to gain clarity and to see what else is available for us in this connection. But they are going to take a passive approach, at least for the next little while. And I feel like that big epiphany hits them when they're bringing forward like a lot of alcohol, or somebody who has spent time lowering their inhibitions a little bit. So I don't feel like it's over in this connection. I feel like there will be a conversation, but you get to dictate what you want to do with that opportunity. And they are indicating, again, even when we have solutions that come in, this person still may not be 100% ready for commitment cycles. We have, its healing gift runs a destined course. The morning dawn, our inspired source. Meditate under the sun. And our inspiration here could just be clarity. It's like, I just want to know why. It's like, why did you go silent? Why did you not reach out to me here? And then we have forgive and forget. A ritual cleansing of pain and lies. Arise and awaken and see a new sunrise. And begin here. Do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now here. So I feel like there will be perhaps a resurgence in the opportunity. You may decide to take a different approach towards this person once the communication opens up. You may decide to sort of enjoy the process more, or join them on their level of exploration, because they do say that this may be all they have to give, even in the present moment. But Spirit says there's an aspect of gaining peace between the two of you. So in the very least, there's going to be a communication that allows us both to bring in that peace, to bring in forgiveness, to bring in compassion. And for others, this could be a launching pad to more. But they're encouraging you to not put all of your expectation into their basket right now, that if you want to invest in this opportunity, to make sure that you're staying grounded in the present moment. But that a lot can be grown out of a moment, out of this moment in time that we're planting into the Akasha. Advice, please, for pile number 3 in the bowl. Whoops, out of the bowl we missed. 3 of Wands, frustrating delays that you've already experienced. I feel like you're going to also experience frustrating delays when the communication opens up as well. They do say that this person has a habit of passivity, and it could be an act of self-preservation or protection, trying to keep themselves safe when they actually haven't arrived in the Emperor's position yet. They're still sort of a knight who's sort of restless. So you could expect frustrating delays even after the communication opens up. Now, you may feel motivated to reach out to them within those frustrating delays. If you do not reach out to them, Spirit says, ultimately, they do feel like some sort of communication will just pop up for you suddenly. We do have the heart, vulnerable. We have the, we have the 10 of Swords with the fish bones, Pisces energy. It is reversed. Now, they're highlighting the 10 of Swords, but they're also highlighting sort of forgiveness, again, moving on. We've already referenced forgiveness here too. We have learning from disappointment, learning from heartbreak. We have a nickel from 2015. I think of Taurus, and I think of May in the 5th of any month. They're also speaking about putting energy into something, and somebody who is a goal-oriented person towards family. So you may have goals towards family. We have a little butterfly of transformation. And they're also speaking about the divine feminine's vulnerable heart. We also have a card here that is the 7 of Pentacles. So patience being a virtue, or perhaps impatience being heightened here. We also have the V, could be an initial, or the Hierophant, and it is in the reversal. So somebody who has a problem with authority. It's like somebody who isn't ready for commitment cycles, and there's like an original approach that we have to take in the next chapter of this connection. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me if you feel called to, and be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.